You guys, I've got 7:02 over here. We've got a few more people getting on. Kelly, isn't it a beautiful day out today?
It is. I'm hoping the wind doesn't start like blowing my hair everywhere. It's very windy.
I'm just hoping the internet works for me tonight. Driving me insane right about now. And I have a lot of really good stuff to share with you guys. So it's 20 people here. Let's see, you guys, if you have associates you don't see, new people, etc., send it to them. What I'm going to share tonight is going to be absolutely worth every moment of your time. I have very mixed emotions tonight. I was just sharing with someone about a video from this weekend, and it's emotional. And what I have to share with you is emotional, and it's helpful, and it's good, and it's moving forward, and things are great, and I'm so grateful for what we have. But my voice is a little solemn right now because I am going to try to figure out how to share it with you without crying yet again. So there's that. Marla, glad you're here. Feel free to show yourself. Hey, Paul Keenan.
Hi there.
Glad you guys are all here. You're in for a treat. Send some reminders to your team. Send the link. Say, hey, don't miss this. Get on. Let's do that for just a couple minutes, and then we're going to get started right at 7:05 because I know some people got this a little bit later. But if you're getting on right now and you see a guest of yours, I'd love for you to introduce them. I'm missing faces. I think everybody here, I'm not sure if we have a guest. Anybody? I think we're all like, we've been in. How about Sharon? I see a Sharon. Is it Cohen or Cone? Sharon, are you new or did someone enroll Sharon Cohen? I don't want to say it wrong. Cone.
I'm thinking Jewel.
Okay.
So far, your internet's better than the has been. It's consistent now.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. I'm holding my breath a little bit. You guys, do any of you have any demo stories that you want to share before I start doing that myself? Anything that's happened to you this past week that you've talked to? Kelly, go ahead. I saw your hand.
I was texting somebody in my organization at the same time. So I didn't demo them with Liberty or Victory, but we were at kind of a get together with some acquaintances, people I don't know very well. And there was this family that's originally from France, so had very like thick accent. And James my husband had already talked to the wife about it. And she had said she'd had some pain like on her elbow or something. I don't know if it was tennis elbow or something. And she'd already taken some pain meds, but he went ahead and gave her a freedom patch anyway. And maybe like an hour later, she had said that she could tell a little bit of a difference, but nothing like major. And then she and I continued to talk, and she was telling me about her husband, how he's got shoulder pain like back here. And so I gave her a freedom patch, and I was like, well, let's put it on him. And she's like, no, let's just wait till I get home. And I said, well, how long is it going to be until you get home? And she said, 50 minutes. I'm like 50? She said, yes. I said, put it on him now. Like, why wait? And so he starts like unbuttoning his shirt. And so she sticks it, right here. And then she and I continue to talk. And he's over there like doing this weird like elbow thing, just like moving it. And I'm thinking, oh, no, like what's happening? And so I ask him, I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, I feel this warmth. And this was within seconds. This isn't within seconds of it being put on him. He's like, I feel this warmth like at my shoulder. I said, yeah, there's times that people feel, that warmth. And then they start talking in French. I'm like, what's going on? And he just like looks at me like he's just amazed. And he says, I don't have any pain. I don't have any pain. And then he just like gives me this big bear hug. And like those kind of moments like last, it just makes all of this so worth it and again, that may not happen every single time to everybody. Everybody's pain is different, but to have one of those moments where it's almost working instantly, it's such a huge blessing to be able to witness that.
It's unbelievable, Kelly. I love that. When it does happen instantly, you're like, what's in this? I know for me, I'm like, but what's in it? I love that. I love that. And you're going to have so many more stories like that. And demoing someone with the pain patch is indeed a demo. Okay. Like that is absolutely demoing someone with the flow patch and having their anxiety just relax is absolutely a demo. It doesn't always have to be dynamic and lateral stability, you guys, because what we have works instantly for what those people are needing or lacking. Anybody else have a story they want to share about a demo? Or Paula, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, as you know, we were, you guys came in and we did our El Paso event, and it was just so wonderful. Well, there was a couple there, and you demoed the husband like during the meeting. He was the elderly Mexican.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. And his wife, I mean, like as soon as it was over with, she didn't get demoed during the meeting. But right after the meeting, she said, we want to join. And I mean, she's 84 and he's older than that. Okay. And I'm like, are you guys sure? And they're like, yes, we want to join. And so I mean, you and Steve had already gone. And I think it was only maybe Deborah and Elizabeth. I think we were the only ones left there. And so I asked her, she's been hunched over for like 15 years. Okay. She can't straighten her back up. She walks with a walker. And so I asked her, I said, would you mind if I demo you? I said, could you try to stand up and let's do this? And she was all for it. So I did the demo on her and she was utterly amazed, like Brandy says, right? And Elizabeth and Deborah can vouch for this. Within 5 minutes, that lady was standing up straight.
Wow.
She had not been able to straighten her back in 15 years.
Wow.
Okay. And so that just made it all the more wonderful that I asked her, I said, do you have any other issues besides, I don't know if she had an accident or whatever, but I know she has rods and screws in her back. Okay. So that was one of the reasons why she's hunched over. Well, so I asked her, I said, do you have any other issues that we could address tonight? And she said, well, my back is really hurting. Because of course, it was a 2-hour meeting. She'd sat there for a long time. And so I said, well, could I put one of our pain patches on you? Yeah. And so I did that. I put it on her back. And I mean, it was just seconds. Okay. She looks at me and she said, that really works. She said, I'm not hurting anymore. So, I mean, it was just wonderful. Even the older people, don't discredit them. Don't leave them out because they need this.
You're not dead till you're dead. You're not dead till you're dead. Do something, right? People want to make a difference no matter where they are, Paula. That's unbelievable.
Kari, it was so amazing. I was watching from a distance and I watched her walk into the room and she was so hunched over. It was like watching a hunchback because she could just barely walk, so hunched over. When she put those patches on her and I was watching her from across the room and she took the first couple steps, I was like, wait a minute, whoa. She was standing totally straight and she was walking upright, like total night and day difference. It was just amazing to see it in person. It really was.
That's incredible. That's utterly amazing. That is a great way to describe utterly amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Paula and Deborah and Liz. And Dana, it was such an incredible meeting. Steve and I left, and when we got in the car, we looked at each other and we went, wow. Wow. I mean, people didn't want to leave. We actually had to leave because we had a very early flight the next day to get back, which I didn't know that same day that I'm sitting in the airport in El Paso, was I going to book a flight to Vegas last minute. So it was a crazy trip that turned into a 5-day trip for me. And I only had 2 outfits. So that was cute. But I made it work and I didn't care because that's not the important thing. Does anybody else have a story they want to share? It was such an incredible meeting. And all to say too, in Pensacola, I expect the same blow up there, you guys. It was incredible. And so we're going to do it again in Pensacola. Paul, you have something to share with us?
I do. I have a story. It's about myself, and I have other stories about other people, but this happened to me recently. Within the past year or so, I have hyperthyroid condition, and they call it Graves' disease. And you know, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I went to the doctor, and she told me that my one of the side effects is that your eyes will water and they may burn. And so, you know, after a while, my eyes started to water and burn and stuff. And so about a week ago, I got the Kick It patch, and I had been giving out the Defend patches so many different times that I ran out of them. And so I got a shipment in, and I put the Defend patch and the Kick It patch on, and I have several other patches on as well. And so I noticed later that day, early the next morning, my eyes were not watering and they were not stinging. And, you know, the medical answer to that watery, stinging eyes is you go to some doctor and they shoot something in your body. And it's not just any doctor, it's like a specialist kind of doctor, and it's dangerous. So now my eyes don't water, they don't sting. I feel great.
Wow.
And I can't say it's the Defend patch or the Kick It patch, because I don't know which or what. I don't know which one. But I know one thing: my eyes don't water and they don't sting.
Right. That's amazing, Paul. It's the Defend patch. I can tell you that much. It's Defend.
Okay.
We have other stories. I'm looking at people on the screen going, we have other stories that have similar things for that, like Sandra and Barb and Kelly's husband, James, and other people. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally unbelievable.
It really is
and
what's hidden in these patches that I don't know about yet.
Yeah. I wandered in on a guy that I knew of. I saw him on LinkedIn. It turns out he's about 2 blocks from where I live. So I went over to see the guy, and I don't know him. And he didn't know what I was coming in there to talk about. So I started talking about the patch. And I noticed when we were sitting down, he was a little unsteady on his feet. And what he does through massage and stuff like that, he's what I saw on LinkedIn was a guy talking about he's going to have knee surgery. He went to him, and the guy gave him some sort of a massage and release, and the guy didn't have to have knee surgery. So when I went in to see him, we talked, you know, and I said, you know, we have this thing. It's a little demo, and I don't think I'm any good at it yet, but I've had a lot of victims. I'll say that much. And so we tried to do it, and we did it. And he stepped forward, stepped sideways, and we put on the Liberty patch. And he was, I can't say that he didn't move. He moved a little, but a whole lot less than he did. And he says, I'm sure everybody on this call has had this one. He said, well, how did you do that? You know, it's like, I don't know.
Magic.
It's the patch, yeah. Who cares how I did it? I did it. And so the jury's still out with that guy. But the point is, he texted, when I left, he sent me a text and said, Paul, I'm very interested in this. Let me look at it. We'll get back together next week. That's sometime this week here. So this is just an amazing thing. I've had people use it, and I don't know, you know, we're not there to know whether they put it on, take it off, does it fall off, or, you know, I don't know.
Right.
But
right.
Some haven't had success with it, but most have.
Yes.
That's what I know.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that goes along with what I'm going to tell you guys towards the end. I love that, Paul. Thank you for sharing. And
thanks for letting me share.
It doesn't matter if any of us have heard it before. We haven't heard it from you. So when you experience it, we feel the energy. We feel this from each other, and we go and say, hey, Paul had this friend who his eyes stopped watering. So it doesn't matter. None of the stories get old, no matter how long they're told. We all sit on the Tuesday night Zoom with Steve and hear the same story 1,000 times over, and it never gets old to me. I'm always
Let me say one other thing to you.
Okay,
on
go for it.
Friday, I think it was Friday. Friday was the last day of the month, last month, I think.
Friday.
And I was in a situation, right, where I should not have been even doing any business, but I was. And we coached around, me and this girl who's with me, and I became a team leader on Friday night. But Friday morning, I was quite a ways away.
Okay.
And so, but I had my patches on. They gave me the emotional stability, the physical stability to do the things I had to do. Even in light of, I was in a situation where you said, "Hey, Paul, why don't you just sit down and calm down for a minute, will you?" So these patches work in a whole lot of different ways that I feel, you know. Yeah. Thank you.
Do. You're so welcome, Paul. I always want to hear from you. You need to get my personal number. Dana, share with us. I see your hand up, and then Kevin, I want you to share. I see you waving at me, Kevin. You'll go after Dana.
Just real quick, I have the fibromyalgia, and I've had it for quite a while, for 22 years. Well, anyway, I started using the focus patch with my flow patch, along with the other 5 that I wear, and I just have to say, the combination of thereof, when I first used the flow patch, my brain fog went away. So when I put the focus patch with it,
getting on a meeting with Kelly.
my mind went completely open. I didn't have a problem. I really feel like I've had, I'm back there before fibro, so my 20s again.
Wow.
And my brain, okay, not my body, but my brain. So I'm on ticket, so maybe that'll catch up. I don't know.
That's amazing. And we have like what the glow patch to look forward to, right? Like maybe that'll help with our body portion. Sequoia, no, being late. Dana, thank you for sharing that. Like that's incredible. You guys, Kevin, go ahead. Kevin, you go ahead.
All right. I've been playing with positioning on my patches, and I hadn't been putting it on my leg as much as I would want to, but then, I decided, all right, I'm going to put it on the bottom of my stump, because my phantom pain, it felt like my big toe. Well, you can see I don't have a big toe.
Mhm.
It felt like my big toe, the toenail was being ripped off, and the side of my foot felt like it was dry. Within 20 minutes of putting on the pain patch, that dissipated like 90%. And it has not come back. Even if I have the pain patch on for 2 days, it didn't come back. And then I stuck another one on this morning, and I could feel it, right away within like 2 minutes or so. I could feel the relief from it on the neuropathy part. And so when I have the leg on, it's like wearing a vice. And I'm going to be getting it delivered hopefully on Friday. So I hope the prosthetist, there, I hope he lets me wear it when I put on my leg. But I have to show him the skin and everything, and they check the skin to make sure there's no worn skin or anything, because you got to be careful with that.
Wow.
But that pain patch, and also just, always before the meeting, I like to slap on my patches, and I could see, like, I felt better when I slapped on the Liberty and the Defend. Within like a minute, I'm feeling it, and it's subtle, but I can notice it, because I have a the other day I put a defend on my belly, and it may still be there. I don't know. I don't always check it, but that really, that defend, I'll tell you, that really works.
It's something, isn't it? It is something. You guys, we know that what we have works. I have to share the stories with you. I put a peace patch on a while ago. I don't know if y'all watched me, because even just hearing your stories, I'm getting emotional about the story I'm going to share with you. The whole reason I started, not many of you have heard this. I know we have a lot of new faces on here and people that have been around but new on our Zoom. I joined this because my little sister has balance in her disease that she has. It's genetic. So let me tell you what genes does. It picks and chooses who gets it. My dad carries it. My grandmother had it. They treated it as if it was Parkinson's because they did not know how to treat spinal cerebellar ataxia type 8. They did not know that. My dad still carries it. He's going to end up with it, possibly. I'm like fingers, toes, praying that our patches do what they are intended to do and like stop stuff so it doesn't progress, it doesn't continue to get worse. I could have it. My kids could have it. Okay. You need to know all of that going into what I'm going to tell you. So my little sister, as soon as I put this patch on her, she goes with all the patches: Liberty, Defend, Flow. She uses Freedom for her pain. It causes pain. But the number one thing it attacks is balance. And so she can go up and down stairs without someone in front and behind her. She can go up an escalator and not hold on. And we tested that in the casino this past weekend. I have a video of her and she's making me nervous because she's testing it with and without the patch. And I'm like, oh, Shelby, but it works, right? So our entire family is impacted by this. And I know I told you guys before, I had messaged and emailed this one fella that is working with that company, that organization, that foundation, those things that are just a job for some people. Okay. And I told you, I asked him when I called, I said, hey, do you know someone that's physically, emotionally, whatever, affected by this? Do you have someone that actually deals with ataxia? He said, no. So I knew it was just a job for him. And so when I told him what I had to bring to the table wouldn't be much for his ears, I went ahead and said it anyway with hopes. So my mom calls me on Thursday before the El Paso meeting. And she's crying and she says, Kari, now I know why you do what you do. Now I know why you can't stop. Because my family sees me as gone, traveling, doing this, constantly here, 24/7. That's what they see because that's what they choose to see. Okay. Our families don't always choose to see what do we do with the other hours in our day, but those work hours that look different anyway. And me traveling it's not like it's a big deal. It's not all month long. It's going to you guys and seeing you all and building you up. And it's not like forever, but it might be forever because we have a world to reach. But anyway, she calls me crying. She's like, I need you to get here. I need you to get here. So I'm thinking, how in the world? I mean, you can always buy new clothes, right? You can always figure out how to wash your clothes. That's not really that big of a deal. So Saturday morning, Kelly, you tell James he's going to want to see this video when I share it. So make sure he stays right there for this story. Hey, James. So I booked the flight Friday morning. I fly back to Austin. I get all of the patches Steve had on him because I don't know how many people I'm going to touch or help with this. And I'm like, what do you have? Like, I'm almost out of what I have. So he gives me everything he has as far as Liberty and Victory goes. And he gives me some Flow and some pain because I'm like out of all this. What I use, you guys, is what I carry with me and demo. I was just telling him today, I need to adjust what I get monthly so that I have for me. I got to take care of me. I have for my family, and then I have overflow. So here I go to Vegas. After we had almost died when we left El Paso. It was the worst turbulence I've experienced in my life. And Steve, and he's flown a heck of a lot worse than me. We just knew the plane was going to just like flip over. It was so bad. And I was like, thank God for these patches, or I would have like wet myself and screamed like really loud. So I get there and they're in a meeting of sorts. Okay. Mind you, the meeting was early, so I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. I'm running on fumes anyway. As I'm walking to where I'm looking for them, they're in like these small breakout groups. Okay. As I am looking for them, I come across two guys that are just sitting there thinking maybe they work for the people, maybe they don't. And I asked them about like where to find such and such room, right? And come to find out, their spouses were both with ataxia in one of those sessions. They were just taking a break. So I said, hey, can I show you something? And this one guy was blown away, and I helped his pain right away, just like you mentioned on here. You guys know how some of that happens. The other guy, I could have chopped him up and put him in the nearby trash can and not felt bad about it at all. I have never in my life, in talking about this, gotten so angry with someone as I did with this young man who his spouse deals with ataxia, and he was trying to trick me and dupe me with my own stuff. He took the patch after I did the demo. He's like, I do jujitsu. I'm like, I don't care if you're God, like it still works. Like I'm sitting here talking to him. Like I know you do that, you know, like I've met people who have done this inner core mental work, whatever. You're stronger than everybody that you face. But I'm telling you, this works and your spouse needs it. If you don't need it, that's fine. He takes it. He puts his hands. I'm telling all of you this because I want you to get a picture of what I deal with. So many of you think it is so easy for me to do what I do. You think it just comes natural or it's just the attitude. But I get thrown rocks at me every single time just the way you do. So this guy takes the patch off, okay? He takes it off and he's got his hands behind his back. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are you putting the patch? He's like, no, I'm just putting it somewhere else. I'm like, where are you putting it? He's like, well, I'm putting it like on my butt. I go, like on your butt, like on the skin or like on your pants? He's like, well, just here, do it again. And he goes like this. And I'm thinking, I could probably break you in half like right now. In my head, I'm going, it would not be hard to knock him out. I'm just getting frustrated. So I do the demo and it doesn't work. And I go, where did you put the patch? I told you it only works if it's on skin contact. He goes, I put it inside my t-shirt. Like he had a long sleeve and he had put it inside where it was sticking to his arm of his sleeve. I'm like, okay. I said, you're wasting my time. If you only knew how much I'm worth an hour, you would realize from the moment I started talking how important it is to not waste my time. And now I'm wasting your time. So I'm done here. You're welcome to talk with your friend who is in fact interested in this. And I really hope on your partner's behalf, you will look into this because I'm about to change so many lives this weekend. You're going to know who I am. Okay. So that was just a bystander who is geared towards pharmaceutical bullshit. You guys, I was so upset. Apologize, but I'm so upset about it because when I showed up to where this conference was happening, my name tag said like our whatever pharmaceutical. So do you know why that guy did not push for me to have a spot or Steve to come and speak? And those of you who know Steve know he gets paid 10 grand for 45 minutes. Why he didn't push for that is because that foundation, that conference, that weekend was funded by pharmaceutical companies. And I was thinking to myself, I'm going to go missing. Someone is going to get me and I am not going to leave Vegas. It would be very easy to dump me in the Grand Canyon. I am going to go missing. So I'm sitting here like, okay, I come across the guy that I had emailed before I go into this meeting that I'm looking for. Hey, John, nice to meet you. It's Kari, remember me? I messaged you. I've got this technology. And I looked him straight in the face and it felt so good. I said, now I know why you couldn't get me here. I said, but trust me, you're going to know who I am before it's all said and done. And he didn't want to be demoed. We kind of talked. He was glad I was here, said, feel free because I paid the same thing everyone else paid, $350 to go be a part of this conference. Okay. So I go into this room because I finally found it. I got through all that junk and here I am going into this area and there's two doctors in there. There's one seat left and the seat is beside the doctor. And she motions me because I come into the back of the room. It's this round circle of like 35 people in there. Okay, 33, 35 people in there. And every single one of those people has SCA, which is spinocerebellar ataxia, SCA 7 or 8. My little sister has 8. So 8 is the one that runs in our family, right? Every single one of them that has it has a speech issue, can't talk, is in a wheelchair, using a wheelchair of some sort, or like a walker. And my little sister is the only one with it that has symptoms that is not using that. So I come in, I'm sitting by this doctor who is offering all but a viable solution that is affordable and doesn't include drugs to these people. These people are my people. This is my family. This is my livelihood. And she's sitting right beside me, and she kind of looked at me when I first came in. I was like, hi, glad you're here. So you're with the patches? Okay, yeah. Your mom talked to me. Hi. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, you're not going to like me, but okay, go ahead. Go ahead. And this is another younger guy next to her. One of her patients that she works with is in the room, sitting directly across. My sister had already gotten to her and demoed her. James, this lady recognizes me when I sit there because my family's pointing like, that's the patches right there, and she's like, and this is her patient. This is this doctor's patient. Doctor-patient relationship is you're supposed to be looking for something to help them. You're supposed to be looking for whatever it is, right? Wrong. So they go around the circle and they're all talking about everything they're going through. And I start to get so emotional because this is my livelihood. Did you hear me? I could end up like them. My little sister could end up like them. That could be how my dad ends up. My kids could go through this. My grandkids could go through this. Like the line of this, it doesn't stop because there's these repeats of things. So I am looking at my mom, and I'm looking at my dad, and I'm looking at my little sister, and I don't see hope, right? Like we have faith in Jesus, and we know that God is God of all things, and we have these patches, and that's where our hope is coming from. But it was hard. And I hadn't spoke yet. So I immediately got a peace patch out of my purse because I'm getting madder and madder the more I sit there and hear them say stuff like $250,000 a year, or do you have a prescription for a psychologist, or do you have your doctor write a prescription for, oh Lord, I just am sitting there going, I have the answer. I have the answer. And I know I do. And I'm like, how do I share this? What do I do when my time comes? What am I going to do? And so she finally turns to me and says, would you like to share about the patches? And I said, are you sure you want me to share? I just got a second. I got a second. Okay. I said, are you sure you want me to share? She's like, yeah. So I stand up in this room of 35 people that need what we have, including the 2 moronic doctors that are speaking. And I share about it helping Shelby instantly and what it's done for her life. I share like I would for anyone. And the minute that and this lady had across the room, her son could not talk. He was like grasping like this, like the whole time, like, cause he's so uncomfortable and he was in so much pain. And she had said for like 29 years, they've been telling us it's a cure. So like there's a cure coming. So I turn around and look at her and I go, I know what you're feeling. I have a child with type 1 diabetes and they keep saying 5 years from now, 25 years. I said, all these people do are filling you with something because it's a job for them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have a solution for you, and it's drug-free, chemical-free, works instantly. And that doctor, wait. She goes like this. I was like, here it comes. And she said, hold on. This is to share about support and like what is helping. This is to help each other, not for you to like sell something. I said, if you'll let me finish, this is going to help everyone. Well, wait. She's interrupting me. She said, just let's wrap this up. And if anybody wants to talk to her about these patches, you can come up to her at the end. And I am boiling. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't really sure. They came up to me by the droves. They wanted to talk about it. And for the remainder of the weekend, I demoed like crazy. That night, Bill Nye, the science guy, was their guest speaker for the weekend because he has family who deal with ataxia. So my little sister wanted a picture with him. Like it was like Friday night. This all happened this day. And he was standing there with the CEO of the company who, holy smokes, that man got on stage, talked with a beer in his hand. Let's go fill people with toxins and say we're for whatever. Like I was so frustrated, you guys. Oh my gosh. So we meet Bill Nye. I was like, hey, can we take a picture? And he's standing there by the CEO and his sister deals with it, his niece, so it runs in the family. It's a genetic thing. Like, so everybody could be affected. I demoed his entire family, got all their contact information, and I thought, I do not need a spot on stage. I don't need a booth for $1,800. I just need to talk to the people that are on stage. I need to talk to people that are affected by it, right? So all that's in the works, and we got the picture, and that was fantastic. And he's like, oh yeah, someone was telling me about your patches. I'm like, news travels fast. So I continue to demo people at dinner that night. The young man that was across the room that I told you with his arms and he was in pain and he's groaning, ended up at our table for dinner Saturday night. Okay. And I talked to his mom, and I got to know her enough where she trusted me and said, we'll try anything. We've been dealing with this for, I don't know, 20 years or so. He's 33 or 36. We'll try anything. So I did the demo on her and she loved it. And I did the demo on him. He can't talk, he can't see, and he's in a wheelchair and he's very uneasy, and you can see this. And so I didn't video this one, but of course it worked. And then we put the pain patch on him, and his tendons are so tight right here and under his legs. Like, it causes so much pain. In the hotel, when they got there and what is it called? Checked in. Thank you. When they checked in, he fell out of his chair and had this huge gash and had to get stitches and all of this. So he's really hurting. I put the patch in the middle of his back, and his mom and I just continue to talk. And she turns around and looks at him. She goes, do you notice how much calmer he is? He has not been that calm the entire time we've been here. And that was from the Liberty patch. So already I know this is working. This is happening. The pain patch is on him. And I said, go ask him how he feels. And he wasn't hurting. And he could tell her enough that he wasn't hurting. He's dealt with this for so long. And you look at these people and you think, how will this help them? And guys, I'm like queen of super patches. I believe in all of it. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is huge. This is huge. This other young lady that I had spoke to earlier in the day, and her sister already wants to join the business, and she's in California, and she is SCA 8, which is what my little sister has. She doesn't talk. She's in a wheelchair. She doesn't walk. She barely gets up. She wore the patch for 24 hours. So the next night at the dance, we're talking, and I said, can I video maybe like what happens when she gets out of the chair? Because you have to get out and get in bed and other things. So I'm going to show y'all this real quick. If you watched my stories today, you got a little bit of a glimpse, but we wanted to see what she did without the patch and with the patch. And I was so nervous for her to get up without the patch. I'm gonna try to put this up here. I'm just gonna turn it around. I'm gonna turn it up. Hold on one second. Tell me if you can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, try to
Yeah.
watch. Okay. Watch her movement.
Wow. I am woman.
Wait. Wrong one. I lied. This is it. It's this one. Okay, watch this. So I took the patch off of her.
That's what so yeah, she didn't Are you videoing? Okay, now I want you to stand up.
She doesn't have the patch on.
You don't have them? No.
Did y'all hear my dad? He said, you get to put a patch on her as soon as possible.
Okay. All right, now go. You can sit down. And we'll put the patch on. And we'll do it again. Okay. Okay. Okay, ready?
Wow.
Grab me if you want. You do. While you're standing up. Yeah.
How,
Yeah.
you guys?
Wow.
It worked.
Amazing.
Like the hope that was just restored for her. And it didn't matter the negativity. And I told you all of that to tell you it doesn't matter what people say to you. The right people are going to come to you and you're going to get to help the right people. So don't get hung up on that. It happens, but don't get hung up on it. This is huge. This is huge. I was like bawling. I just couldn't believe it. And it was person after person after person. And the word got out and people just come up to me. And this one young lady, she puts these patches on and she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm not shaking. And she's bending and moving. And I'm thinking, people are going to fall over and they're not using their cane. And this one girl got out of her chair so fast and came over to me and said, do it to me now, And so she did that. And so I took a picture of all of them in front of this, wonderful organization. And they've got the patches on. See that lady in the chair right there? She runs the Vegas chapter. So all the people that put that event on know her. When I was talking to her at the end, they all are walking by because we kind of like closed the place down. And they're all saying her name, how are you, whatever, while I'm taking pictures of all of them pointing to their patch that actually truly made a difference. Tell me how we get quiet. Tell me how you have a bad day. Tell me your day was worse than these people. It's unbelievable what we have. It works. It works instantly. So don't be afraid to talk to someone in a wheelchair. Don't be afraid to talk to someone who is having a hard time talking. Some of the parents that were there, I was talking to one guy and his daughter has ataxia. And I'm asking him questions and he's stuttering while he's talking to me. And I said, can I ask a personal question? I said, do you always stutter? And he goes, well, yeah, normally if I have a couple of drinks, it will calm it down. I said, can I put a patch on you that will help? And while we're standing there talking, I let him know, hey, your stuttering stopped. Walks over to his wife, hey, I'm not stuttering. She was like, I don't even recognize his name. I've been married to you for so long. Hey, lady, listen, he's not stuttering. He's trying to tell you something, I saw it help so many different things. Fast forward to Saturday night. I don't like Vegas. I don't like the smoke in the casinos. I don't like the gambling. I don't like throwing my money away. I know what all that can do. I just don't like it. Sandra knows. She's been with me in Vegas before. At the company we were in last, they did like an incentive trip, whatever there. And I wasn't really doing anything, right, Sandra? I was just like, this is not for me. But as we sat down and were visiting this one lady who was there, who her son doesn't know what type of ataxia he has, she came over and talked. And she wants to join in the business. And she knows a lot of people who know a lot of people. And you're going to start seeing these people come in the business. But she wanted to talk forever. So what am I to do? Talk to her. Well, there's no clocks on the walls in casinos. There's no door, window. You can't see if it's light or dark out. And I knew it was getting late, but I knew she was worth my time. And at that point, I was not tired. So we stay up and talk forever and ever and ever. And while she was playing one game, this guy, I kept kind of meeting eyes with him. And it was almost weird. Okay. But it wasn't. It's like he kept showing up. And I finally went over to him and I was like, hey, what's your deal? You following us? What's going on here? And just started to talk to him. He was like one game over from where we were. And he said, he saw me put a patch on a young lady that walked down. I put a patch like on her thigh because she'd already had some covered up underneath here. She walks down and says, do you recognize me? And I'm like, no, she had a mask on. So she took her mask off. It was a girl who had a cane and she was down there in the casino with heels on, without her cane because of our patches. I videoed her and her cute self and her cute little dress. And she was like, when I get back home, I go back to my life. But right now I'm going to enjoy every bit of this patch. I was like, oh my gosh. So she told me she had seizures and different things. So I said, here, put this flow patch on. So I knew in the corner of my eye, I had seen this guy in this blue shirt. Watch me put this patch on this chick's thigh. And I bet he's like thinking weird stuff. So I was like, did you see me put that patch on that girl? Oh, he's like, yeah, what do you do? So I told him about it. And he said, you're kidding me, right? He goes, do you have anything that would help with PTSD? And I said, boy, do I. He's a veteran, and he's dealt with pain somewhere on his neck for like ever. So the more we talk, I do the demo on him. The waitress that's walking around there is stopping and talking to us at this point, watching the demo. I do the demo. She's like, shut up, get out of here. I want this. What are you doing? And so he starts to cry. He was not drunk or anything crazy, just normal, whatever. He starts to cry. He goes, you would not believe how good I feel just from the Liberty patch. And then I put Flow on him to help with the PTSD and anxiety and all that stuff. And then I put the pain patch on him. He couldn't help it. And I hugged him and he hugged me. And I'm like, he goes, now I know why I followed you. I was supposed to meet you. Unreal. He joined the business at like 3:30 in the morning in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I was like on cloud 9. The girl brings over the security guy and a couple other people, and they're watching and looking at this demo. And she's had this pain in her shoulder forever. She puts the patch on, immediately starts working. I'm like, what's in this? I'm like, I don't know. I wish I could tell you what's in it. Like, nothing is in it. It was life after life after life after life that was changed. So not only the 36 of us on here have we had lives changed, we've had people, but there are going to be more people, and it's going to come in by the droves. I hope with everything in me that the excitement from sharing the demo and talking to people and hearing their stories is what you focus on. The negative, it's going to come. It's a part of it. So I had several people reach out to me, hey, the app's not working. What's going on with the back office? What's going on here? And I'm like, forget it. That cannot stop us. I mean, Ken, it's a great problem to have when people come into your business. You don't know where they show up. He had people join his business and he didn't even talk to them this week, you guys. And they're like, is it a fluke? No, that's what God does. When you can share about, you can't even keep up right now.
Well, yeah, it's been pretty fun. With TikTok kind of blew up for me. I was checking my back office today and realized I had 2 people that joined me 2 days ago that I didn't even know about. So, and I had another girl that contacted me while I was at work today, and I'm supposed to call her here in just a little while, and she's going to join the team. So, I have a testimony. Me and my wife this past Saturday went over to a gentleman's house, him and his wife. He used to work where I work at now, and he had to quit because he had degenerative disc in his back. And he started with, he's been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. And so the doctor they were trying to put him on medicine and stuff, but he couldn't really take it. So he was really skeptical, but because he kind of knew me, knew how my wife is and how we are, he opened the door and said, sure, come on over. So we went over there, and when we did the demo on him, it blew his mind. Then I did it on his wife, and she couldn't believe it. And then he says, I just got to give you a hug. So he'll hug me, and then he hugged my wife. So that was pretty awesome. So
wow. So I'll tell you, Ken, my sister has degenerative disc disease, and she's a nurse and skeptic and says, I'm so mad that this works. She makes stupid comments like that. And I'm like, you mad that penicillin works? That's my comeback for her. But all to say, she goes and gets MRIs done. And normally, with that degenerative disc disease, you can see just how many years it's stolen from you. And so from one that she had, it said she had aged 20 years. Okay. So just recently she went in for the next 18-month follow-up. Okay. She had no change. Wow. And the only thing she had changed in the past, at that point, I guess it was probably 8 months, was adding liberty and freedom into her regimen.
Wow. I'll have to tell
them. Yeah. Tell them to look forward to that.